Touchdown and tackle the sale. Sports and Shopping's podcast with Doug Plank, former Chicago Bears player and NFL coach and college coach, and Megan, former Mrs. Texas, weekly podcast, Saturdays at 11 a.m. Pacific. Non-stop excitement and stories. Don't forget to find us at sportsandshopping.com.
We talked on another episode about how I mowed lawns for my dad growing up. And you know what my reward was? After I got done mowing all of the lawns, there was like 4 that I had to mow. And I usually did them on Saturdays Saturdays, was a Whopper.
No way.
I'm dead serious.
Wow.
And it's so funny because that was my dad's favorite burger. And so he would always say, when we're done mowing, we're going to go get a Whopper.
Wow.
And sometimes I got to the point where I would eat 2.
Hey, those were big sandwiches. And
that's the Burger King, right?
Yeah, it's Burger King. Yeah.
That's what I was saying. I remember it was my dad's favorite burger, Whopper.
You know what's fun too? Everything in life is about your experiences. And we had young kids that worked for us. And one of the things that I did in fast food, it's no secret, it's really hard to retain employees. They're always leaving or quitting, mainly because either they don't get paid enough, they don't like the job, they're treated disrespectfully. Anybody that ever came and worked for me, I always try to treat them with the utmost respect I could. But I had difficulty in losing employees also. So here's what I started doing. A lot of times, like the company restaurants, Burger King or McDonald's, the people that work for them, they could get free food when they're working there. So whatever you want, it's on the house, literally. Franchisees are cheaper. They're chintzier with their money. So what they say is, okay, we're not going to give it to you for free, but you can get it for half price. So whatever the cost is, we're going to charge you half of that. Well, my thing is, hey, everybody loves to eat. And you know what? A lot of people really, really, really love to eat. So you can see it just looking at what they look like. So anybody that worked for me, I just said, listen, anytime you're here inside the restaurant, you got free food. You don't need to steal. You don't need to do anything like that. It's free. Okay. Just tell me what it is. I'll ring it in the register or the manager will. Free, free, free. Okay. Whopper, fry, and a Coke.
That's awesome.
And that worked out pretty good. So now I'm even with the company stores. But I thought, you know what? I was still losing employees to other stores. I thought, what else can I do? I go, great idea. There was a lot of parents and fathers and mothers that worked in the area because they would come in every day and for lunch. I would see them and I knew the family because of the kids and stuff. I said, please tell me your mother, father, brothers and sisters, they can come in the restaurant 24 hours, not just when you're working here, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, they can come and get free food.
That's incredible.
The mothers, you know what? I had employees trying to quit their job. They go, Doug, I don't know if I want to work here anymore. Well, once their parents found that out, no. Johnny was not going to quit. The father and the mother would come back down. The families would come on the weekends and eat for free. They would come in, have a family dinner at Burger King.
That's awesome.
Kids, instead of spending their half lunch hour at school, we were real close to the high school, a local in Westerville. The kids would come down to our store because they ate for nothing. We weren't going to charge them. And they would bring their friends with them. Now, we didn't give the friends free, but you know what? We started their brothers, their sisters. They just came in like, okay, what do you want? We had ice cream cones and sandwiches and French fries. I mean, it really became like a family. And you know what? I'm sorry, you're not going to quit your family. So our turnover became so low. Like I said, the only time I can remember somebody trying to quit was this one particular kid, and his dad brought him down later that day and said, no, Johnny's made a big mistake. He really doesn't want to quit. And I looked at him, I said, is that true? He goes, that was like the most difficult, no that he had to say in his life. He goes, no, I want to work again. And so my point is, we all have responsibilities. If we're in a little box of trouble and we're trying to solve a problem, why not try to look at all the alternatives, all the things that could fix this problem And it did for me. I was done worrying about keeping my employees. My employees weren't going to leave because of this food, this food caveat. And I got a chance to meet their parents. And you know what? Once you start having a relationship with people more than just it's a business, man, they're gonna stick by you.
I envision like this massive Christmas party at your Burger King with all the family members and everybody having Burger King.
You know what? Certain, here's what else I would do. In Columbus, Ohio, there was an organization. It was a swap organization. It was trade. It was for companies that would trade products of each other. So I could go. It's almost like. Oh shoot, I'm trying to think what the word would be, like the Chamber of Commerce of all these businesses, but they would swap pretty much wholesale value of their product. Like, what does it cost a person to have a ticket come in and watch a movie? Nothing. It's just an empty seat. For us, the food cost was generally around 10% of whatever we charge. So if we charge you $1 for something, it cost us 10 cents.
Wow, that's amazing.
No, I know, it's amazing. So we would start trading services like with fine dinners, fine dining, movies, a whole bunch of things. There was an amusement park in the city, so we could trade tickets. So all of a sudden, then we started rewarding our employees for doing a good job, for keeping their station clean, for having very little cash over insured on their cash registers. Just doing anything. And we usually every month we always had a meeting where we would have all the employees came in and we would give out these awards. Hey, it sounds stupid. It doesn't matter. I learned this in football. In football, they had a gift they would give after each game. It was called the hit of the game. Usually it was the latest hit of the game.
What'd you call it? The hit of the game?
The hit of the game. The hardest hit in the game.
Okay. Now, the hardest hit in the game.
The hardest hit in the game.
Okay.
And it was an Igloo cooler. Now, I don't know, an Igloo cooler cost maybe $10 back then. I don't know. But you know what? It wasn't a cooler. It was going up in front of all your teammates and announcing your name. And Doug's got the hit of the game. And you walk up there and everybody's clapping hands. Hey, listen, I don't care if they were giving you nothing, other than a hamburger or whatever. It wasn't the gift. It was the recognition. And that's why when I would do this in these meetings with these employees, it's not the gift. It's the recognition that, hey, listen, we appreciate you and recognize what you've done. And it was amazing. So the similarities between athletics and business are there. I mean, it's the same things that are going to make you successful on the football field may make you a success also in the business world. Mm-hmm. And I always wished my coach or my boss always would have a constant communication with me back and forth. What am I doing wrong? What am I doing right? So every week I would try to reach out to all those employees, and we would, at the very least, we would have a monthly assessment. Don't let somebody come here and work 5 years and nobody's even talked to him. He doesn't even know if he did a good job or not. I just found that, being able to reward people with a positive recollection or recognition of their performance, man, it's powerful. It cements the relationship between management and employees.
It's really important. What you just said, just again, is really amazing in the sense that, you think of from when I've been in management myself with the mortgage business or real estate or financial planning, it's, you always think about having a meeting to improve, but
Sure.
Just having a meeting to say, hey, you rock, you did an amazing job. That's like such a positive thing, because people don't have that a lot of times in their life, just to have somebody say, you know what, Doug, you did spectacular.
I know it's almost a pleasure saying it. By the way, I had a loan origination license too. I just forgot. But since you here's where it really, really gets good. Okay, those kids, when I first opened that store, some of them were juniors and seniors in high school. So they only worked and then they left. They went to their colleges, respective colleges. Some would come back in the summer, but most of them didn't. Most of them stayed in their respective areas or whatever. But to have those kids come in like 2 and 3 years after they had been gone, and they walk in and you recognize them right away there because now they're customers, they're not employees. And they said, "Can I talk to you for a second, Doug?" And they take you aside, like in the dining room, and say, "I just want to thank you. You taught me so much about business and life in general when I was here working." He goes, "I know it may not have seemed like I enjoyed my job." He goes, "But I loved it. I loved coming in here and being around you, your positive attitude." And so this would maybe take 5. The conversation would end, shake hands, whatever. I'd walk away like, "Oh my God, I felt like I did something so spectacular."
Because you did do something so spectacular.
It's just, how can you get somebody fired up to work at Burger King to come back and just listen? It wasn't like he wanted any more free food. I said, "Hey, do you want what can I get you today?" He had already been at school and hadn't worked there for a couple, and so it was really made me feel special, as an owner. And I thought, man, oh man, I wish I could do this every single day and get this kind of a feeling.
That's incredible. Well, it's funny because it's not funny, but it's really true. Gratitude and thankfulness of people makes you feel the best. You know what I mean? Accomplishing things is really important, but when somebody like that comes to you and says that to you, it really makes, that feeling is awesome.
You know what? And really, we can do all that. When I go through life on a daily basis, whoever I run into, they could be at a restaurant, it could be at the grocery store, it could be at the hardware store. I really try to make that person feel like they are so special. You know why? Because I know there's been some customers came through there that aren't very nice. I know, I see them. I see them every single day. And I try to go out of my way.
To be tagged not a nice customer, that'd be horrible.
Yes. So I encourage, someone to say, I just want to tell you, I really appreciate how you handled this, and what a pleasant person you are. They're like looking at you like, "Oh, you got to be kidding me." Somebody's telling me something really nice, and they're like, "Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you." And you know what? Maybe it's a little thing, maybe it's something that doesn't matter. It matters to me, and I guarantee you it matters to somebody else. And so every time I really feel like I have a responsibility to encourage and compliment everybody that I come in contact with that is working in a position that isn't highly thought of, or but just being there every day. And especially now, with all the crazy stuff we have going on in the world, just to thank somebody for being there, to give you a service, at a restaurant or in a hardware store, whatever. In any retail establishment, somebody had to get out of bed and get dressed and go in there and put on a happy face and wait on customers and do all those things that maybe they didn't feel like doing, but they did it. And so I think showing appreciation, I think that's the first step in us getting out of this "we hate each other" program. Whoever you are, whether you're from the East Coast, West Coast, North or South borders, your different family, nationality, relationships, it's time, I think, for our country to stop criticizing each other and, pull for each other. And
I agree. I totally agree. Kindness is key.
Yes.
My mom taught me from a very young age is it's what's inside that counts. Where kindness and nice and
right.
Love. Those are, and I think more than anything right now, I've had a lot of people call me that, are type A, go-getter, aggressive people.
Yes.
Who really COVID has affected. There's no doubt about it. They've said, "I've never felt like this, Megan. Like I've never," and all you can do is give people love, support, and kindness. I think that's really important nowadays.
It is.
My yearbook when I was in high school, I'm like you, I'm very social and want to make sure that everybody's happy and friendly. And I used to always say hi to everybody in the hallway. It's high school. I didn't think anything of it. I was just saying hi and being friendly. And I'll never forget in my yearbook, my senior year, this person wrote, "Thank you for saying hi to me." And I thought to myself, I was taken back, and I thought, whoa, like that was the most simplest. I was just being nice, but that left an impression to that person of, she said hi to me every day. And it almost hurt my heart, because I was like, thank goodness. Can you imagine? Maybe nobody else said hi. That's horrible. Anyway.
My first year in the National Football League playing for the Bears, we had a really tough coach, Jack Pardee. And Jack didn't believe in socializing with anybody. Even after the game, no one on our team was supposed to go across the field and shake hands with anybody. If you wanted to shake hands with somebody after the game, go into your locker room, change your clothes, take a shower, put on your regular clothes, and then go say hi to them before their bus leaves or whatever. No, you're not gonna represent the Chicago Bears, run across the field, shake hands with somebody, hey, maybe give them a hug. No, we're not friends. This is supposed to be mean. And so my first year, a lot of the people that I played with at Ohio State were in the National Football League. Some of them were receivers and running backs, people that I had to hit during the game. Now, I couldn't go over and tell them anything. I didn't say one thing to them, because you know why? Before the game and after the game, there's our cameraman filmed what was happening on the field after the game and before the game.
Oh my God.
If you went over and shook hands, you were going to get fined. You were going to get fined by the team.
Wow.
So when the game was over, I ran to the locker room as fast as I could. Before the game, I didn't say anything to anybody, because I knew I was getting filmed by the camera guy. So I'm hitting all
really
these.
Hard for you.
It was very hard. So during the game, I'm going out there hitting everybody as hard as I can, tackling them, turning them to the ground. Yeah, all this kind of stuff. And after the game, like when the game ended, a couple of those players that I knew from college came over and go, "I thought we were friends.
Oh.
I thought you liked me, Doug, and I liked you." He goes, "Why were you hitting me?" I said, "I have no choice." And I turned around and pointed at the cameraman. I go, "See that cameraman up there right now? He's filming what we're doing right now. So you and I are not hugging or shaking hands or anything. You're just somebody I'm talking to." And
that was hard.
It was very hard. And I said, "Here's what I want you to do. The next time we play," because most times we played twice in 1 year, 2 games. I said, "I want you to come out here and run after me and hit me and punch me and tackle me and do whatever you have to, because I am going to do the same thing to you. And please understand, for 60 minutes, we are not friends. And I'm going to do everything I can to rip the ball from you, tear your shirt, whatever, pull your pants down, whatever. I'm going to do anything I can to embarrass you. And I want you to do the same thing to me, because I don't have any other choice. That's the way it is." So then they just turned around and walked away. But at least it helped, because it wasn't like some huge surprise, after that. I just looked at him on the field. I would compliment him sometimes on the field verbally, because, you couldn't tell anything when you were filming from hundreds of yards away, whether I said anything. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
You couldn't see me complimenting. I'd say, "Hey, listen, that was a great catch." Something like that during the game. But nobody else could hear it. And now, because I'm right next to them and telling them that, because you know why? They were my friend in college. And I'm sorry, I don't care if we wear different shirts, a friend is a friend is a friend.
Touchdown and tackle the sale. Sports and Shopping's podcast with Doug Plank, former Chicago Bears player and NFL coach and college coach, and Megan, former Mrs. Texas, weekly podcast, Saturdays at 11 a.m. Pacific. Non-stop excitement and stories. Don't forget to find us at sportsandshopping.com.